Sorry, mali yung pagkakaintindi ko guys sa yes and. Ganito, yes and.
No. A person's inner voice is their mother's.
I'm not here to tell them how to behave. I can guide them. That's what I'm there for as a mom.
You know what? I used to be you. I'm you. But look at me now.
Hi guys, this is Marga Tupaz, Editor-in-Chief of Modern Parenting. The women you're gonna see today are the voices and faces we see on stage and on screen, guiding us through unforgettable moments, but off stage, they're also navigating the everyday ups and downs of motherhood. Today, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Couch Talk, where parents come and share real stories and nothing is ever off the table. Joining us on the couch today are three multi-talented ladies who prove that hosting doesn't end when the mic turns off. It just takes on a whole new meaning at home. First up, we have Jackie Go.
Hi.
Then we have Gauthier.
Hello.
And of course, their mother hen, Issa Litton.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Marga, for having us.
Of course. Thank you guys. Ladies, all three of you are seasoned hosts. And moms. Jackie's a mom to two, Anne is a mom to two, and also Issa a mom to two. So between handling a live crowd and handling kids at home, which would you say is harder?
Definitely my kids at home. Why? Because they matter more. No offense, I do care about my audience as well. But here's the thing. When you're hosting an event, there should be an on-off switch. You turn it off so that you can go to your family life, your private life. Now here's the thing. If you're the mom, you never have an off switch. Because even in your off days, your children are watching you.
And even when you're hosting, there could be texting you for some emergency.
Exactly. And you always have to be on alert for whatever might happen.
I gotta say, I agree with Issa, where, there's no break, right? You have to be, they're always watching you. Also, you have to be on alert, especially with my age, because my child, I don't know what personality I'm gonna wake up to today. I don't know if it's like my daughter's in a good mood or she's
true.
in a, the terrible 2s, 3s. I don't really believe in that necessarily, but they just have a lot of energy.
And
they're
have
still
their
working.
personalities are coming out, at that age.
Yeah.
And this is the time they need mommy. Right?
They really
mommy.
needs you. Although I really love it. I gotta say, it's the best. The baby stage, the baby smell, everything. I think what they do have in common though is it does push you to have to be present, to think on your feet, and also manage emotions like yours and theirs as well.
Very true.
I agree with Issa and Anne. It's challenging more to be a mom than to be a host because once you're done with a program, you can just shut down I'm an introvert, so it's really a challenge for me to be alert and to be on my toes and to be
hosting,
really...
yeah.
But she's so good at it. Thank you.
are.
So after an event, I'm so thankful after I finish because I know that I could really reserve my energy for my kids. But then when I get home, it's I still have to do my chores.
It's a different circus.
Yeah, so...
And si Jackie nagdadrive yan ng mga anak
Yeah.
niya. She really
I went
drives
all
them to and
around.
from school.
Moms know.
Okay,
Mom
but
drivers know.
related to this question, I'm curious, what is the toughest part about balancing parenting and hosting? And I'm not talking about the full length work-life balance. I'm talking about when you don't feel well, when your kids are sick, when you know you have a problem at home, but then you also need to host because you committed to a client or to an event.
For me, that's my biggest challenge. That's what I would say, the unpredictability of motherhood. Because exactly what you mentioned, hosting you're not on Zoom. You can't just be with your child at home, but then take a meeting on a call. You're live on stage.
So how do you make that work? Knowing that, that can happen, and I'm sure it's happened.
It's happened many times, and I've spoken to, that's why Issa has been such a wonderful guide in that sense, because she does understand how to be a manager, but also she does understand motherhood and how to be a mom.
And the personal aspect of you as a person.
Exactly. So I don't know if there's a perfect solution to it. It's more, I need to find that balance between committing to my work, but then also the unpredictability of motherhood. So I think we assess depending on the situation.
I train my hosts, you have to commit. Once you're booked, you're committed. And with Anne and me, theater training, the show must go on. The only time I really excuse them from a commitment is with Anne. One of the things that I really stepped in was when she was 9 months pregnant. She was asked to host the New Year, the French, the Bastille Day.
Yes.
Oh my
And she kept
gosh.
going, I'm fine. And I'm
Yes.
like, no,
I
you're
was
not going to host.
Can you imagine? Happy
5
New
days
Year,
later.
your water breaks.
And it was already her due week. And I was like, I will not take responsibility for you. So you follow me.
So if it's really something serious, you've always said, okay, family matters, we'll find a solution, which is the beauty of One Lit, right? Is because she can find a way
A replacement.
A replacement.
Of the same standard.
Of the
and
same
scale.
caliber.
But
Yes.
of course, in extreme cases.
Jackie, for you, how do you find that balance, knowing that you are so hands-on with your kids and they have sports commitment?
Yes, I literally do everything with my kids. Like, I'm their driver, I prepare their baon. And so I make sure that Issa and I are aligned with whenever I get booked with the schedule. The challenge for me is like every time, because I do the pickups, I pick them up from school. So I have to like request with them, guys, I have a hosting today. So if you could stay in school for a little bit longer because I might get stuck in traffic to pick you up. So that's really the teeny tiny details that I need to iron out.
She has a cutoff time. I honor her schedule because family really does come first.
So after you host No More Chika Chika Go.
Yeah, na talagang 4 o'clock na, minsan ako na tatawag, diba? And yun na nga, once tumawag na si Issa, yun na yun.
So part of hosting, and I know this too, even when I do interviews like this, it requires reading the room, reading the people you're interviewing. Sometimes you can tell by their body language or their fidgety if they're not comfortable with a question. So I'm really curious because moms, I would like to think, we're experts in reading just a room. How has that helped you when you're hosting?
I think parenting really helps us be more sensitive and more aware of not just a person or our kids, but on how we deal with our surroundings. And so it was kind of easy for me. It was like an eye-opening, like I want to host because I know that I can do it because I've got training, I've got kids. And everything else was like easy in that sense because you could really see the audience if they're starting to get disengaged. You would ask questions to help them be more engaged or more entertained with what you're saying or to listen to you. So it's really that.
It's funny that you mentioned the questions because that's something that I practiced with my daughter yesterday. So what I practiced, which is what I learned from hosting as well, is open-ended questions. So when she came back, because everyone asks, did you have fun? It's a yes or a no. Instead, I used other tools, which was, what was your favorite part of the day? Who was kind to you today? If I wanted to know who was socializing with her, was she socializing? So I really used those tools, which were really, really helpful. And then, of course, that's part of the active listening. And seeing depending on the answers. So at least for that age, that's what I felt that open-ended question really helped.
So it really works both ways, no? What you learn in hosting, you can apply to parenting. What you learn in parenting, you can
Apply when you're hosting.
apply to hosting. So my next question, because Issa mentors you both as hosts, aside from the valuable hosting lessons you've learned from her, do any of the lessons she has taught you either from her personal life or her hosting life, how has it helped you with your parenting?
I think for me, the biggest one, which is what I would like to then, share with my daughter, was that we are constantly evolving. She really taught me more of that growth mindset versus that fixed mindset. That everything's a process. Instead of it bringing me down and me stopping, no, let me learn, let me do something about it and grow from it. And that I think was just so important. And the other thing that I thought I needed to be just one thing.
Yes.
So I went to business school, I went to theater school, Issa brought me in as a host, me becoming a mom. I thought, okay, I'm in this phase, this is the only thing I should be. And as a woman especially, you really have to put on different hats, different roles. And she taught me that, yes, it is possible. And as long as you go, okay, like you want to be a mom, great. You can also work.
For you, Jax, what have you learned from Issa, either from her parenting style or her how she takes care of you guys as hosts that you can apply to your kids.
The one thing that I remember when Issa talked to me, di ba when we saw each other in a shoot, and then she asked me, wait, you're back? Do you want to do hosting? And my immediate reaction was like, oh my gosh, but I don't think I can. I'm so scared. She told me, think about it, sleep on it, think about it, and then come back to me. So I did. And as I was training and as I did na my 1 or 2 hostings, she said, you know what, if it excites you more than it scares you, then you're on the right track. And I think I apply that to my kids whenever I talk to them. Like my daughter is 15 and she's in the path na she's very focused on what course she's gonna take when she's in college. And I say, you know what, you don't need to figure it out now. You're
Yes
young.
to that.
Right.
If it's something that you think excites you, even though it scares you, give it a chance. And that's what Issa said to me. Give it a chance.
How many times do people stick to their courses in college?
Exactly.
You don't.
How many hosts do you have in One Lit Corp now?
Now I have a full roster of 10 hosts and I'm
Okay.
so proud of them.
It's kind of like having kids. How do you parang not play favorites, number one? And my follow-up question to that is, how do you support them knowing that what works with Anne won't work with Jackie and with everyone else? So how do you do this? This is a lot like parenting, and thank you to your kids for the practice.
Definitely. Actually, the growth of One Lit is very much aligned with how my children themselves grew up. I started One Lit Corp around 2019, and at that time, Bella was entering junior high school pa. So when I started, I only had Anne and Mika. And it was very nurturing, like really taking them through step by step. But now, graduate na, college na nga. In fact, it's a wake-up call for me na, hello, if my own children are already so independent, why am I babying them, right?
Right, Anne?
Exactly. So,
I loved it.
diba? So,
Me being the
really-
youngest child, may
So-
I say I love being babied. But okay, that's good.
So there's a transition within One Lit Corp. I agree with you. There was never a cookie cutter style.
Right.
I respect every single one of
Their
them,
requirements,
their individuality, their personalities, their quirks. But I make sure I impose the standard. I'm very, very strict
Oh, that's
with this,
different naman.
which is professionalism and talagang commitment and the growth of skills. So there is an evolution in how I teach, how I welcome people into the roster. With them growing up, it's because I credit my children growing up as
Yeah.
well, from teenagers to now young adults. And now I really am dealing with adults
Yeah.
as well. So that's the evolution there and how parenting really came into play.
Okay, because you guys are communication experts.
Gosh, no.
Nah.
Pressure.
So do you have any communication or any tricks that you learned in hosting that you're able to apply at home that helps diffuse conflict, whether it's conflict between your kids, conflict between you and your kids because you're going through a misunderstanding, and sana something that can encourage really like open communication at home.
Here's the key really, with anyone who has a family, it's up to you how you want to raise your children and kamusta nga yung pamilya mo. So for me, you need to walk the talk. And for me, I am the first to tell both my daughters, I am not perfect.
Right.
I am a work in progress. When I had you, I was not ready.
Yeah.
And they raised me as a mom. From babies, they really became their own individual selves. So who Bella was nung kaming dalawa lang was not anymore Issa, Bella's mom, when Chasey came along. I'm the first to say, I'm sorry. I'm the first to say, I'm not all that right now, or I can't take this call right now. And they've seen me break down. It's okay.
And they see you and they see us. I think what they appreciate is seeing us mess up.
Yes.
Not because we're messing up, but because they see us
Pick ourselves up.
and apologize to. I'm so big on apologies. For Anne naman, how do you, because your kids are so young.
They're so young. So for hosting hacks, I think I can name 3
that you can apply at
that
home.
I can apply at home. So the tone, choice of words,
I love it.
and the yes and.
Ayan, A+ na siya.
But I said, yeah, you see it?
I was like, check,
My
check, check.
lessons learned. So tone, we just actually talked about this recently. You know, I'm not a perfect mom, nobody is. So sometimes I do raise my voice and I have to hold myself back and go, okay, instead of raising my voice, what else can I do? I can play with my tone. I
Stern.
lower my voice, but calm to set that boundary. So I think that tone helps a lot because it really reassures my kids. Second is choice of words. So what I've been really practicing with my daughter is instead of say it coming off as a threat, if you don't eat your vegetables, you won't have dessert. I'll go, I really try hard, huh? When you eat your vegetables, we'll have dessert. So same messaging, but the other one's a little bit more encouraging. I mean, but it's lessons that you do on stage, right? You can't tell someone, get out of here, right? So just same messaging, but more encouraging.
Guys, 5 and below.
Yes, 5 and
Yes. Teens might be different. So my third one, I don't know if this would apply for teens, would be yes and. So
ito
for
parang
example,
pwede.
my daughter
Pwede.
wants to leave, doesn't want to leave the house because she's playing with her bunny. But we have to go to that
Appointment.
to that appointment. I'm not gonna say hurry up because it's just gonna stress her out even more. So I'll go, what are you doing with your bunny? And then enter the world of her bunny and go, why don't we all go on an adventure with the bunny?
Sorry, mali yung pagkakaintindi ko, guys, sa yes and. Ganito, yes and.
No. Tone. Don't forget tone.
Tone.
Pwede.
Pwede. Tone.
Yes. Kasi naloko kayong
And?
lahat doon. Sabi ko, ay parang, that's why I said kanina, I can do this yes and. Kasi naisip ko kaagad, Mom, ganito ko to, yes and. No.
She started with
facial
tone,
reactions.
ha? It's layers. Tone, choice of words. Yes.
Don't listen to
and.
me.
Okay.
Listen to her. Again, 5 and below. Okay, this one I'm really curious to ask you guys. Because I'm sure when you're hosting, and I see your stories, your reels, what is your most memorable hosting job? And why is that like a core memory for you?
One of the most memorable one was when I hosted a pageant. And that was like my
Live
second
siya.
or third.
Yeah.
Third
First, second,
hosting.
third only.
It was so much fun. I told Isa parang, oh my God, I'm meant to do this.
Yes! Okay, so it was memorable because that's when you realized I meant
I could do this.
Yeah.
I could do this. Isa was saying, be prepared ha, because this is not like the usual hosting na 2 to 3 hours you're done. This is gonna end, it's gonna be long and it's gonna drag. And I'm like, okay. It ended parang 11:30 na. It started
From like 5 or
from
6.
5.
Oh
It
gosh.
was memorable because I was feeding off the crowd and then I was making like jokes and then they were all in it. So para ako, oh my God, if this is what hosting feels like, sign me up until in my senior years. Ganon. Super memorable.
For Anne.
Okay, so mine I think would be a bit more serious, but it was just one of the most heartfelt events I had ever hosted, which was for the French Film Festival.
Yes.
So it was so heartfelt as an event itself. So Emmanuelle Béard, which is a very famous French actress, flew in for her documentary called Such a Resounding Silence. And she had experienced abuse herself. And she made a documentary on this. And then with her arrival and this showing of the documentary, they also added a partnership with an association called Caméléon, which was all about abused children. And I thought it was just so beautiful because they brought in survivors to read poetry, to perform with their talents. And there was a moment where Emmanuelle Béard like hugged them.
Everyone.
And it was just the room, women, men alike. It was just so special. People were so connected. It felt like a safe space. And these survivors felt heard and seen. At that point, I mean, if I share,
I was about to look at you. Are you going to share why it's so meaningful?
And it
I
was
was
so
also
meaningful.
there, and there's a reason why I was there.
Yes, and that's what I meant by where there's commitment to work, but there's also where you assess the situation. At that point, the night before that event, we thought I was miscarrying because I had a few difficulties before that. And so I called Issa, not knowing if I was going to do it or not. She said, I'm ready to step in, or I can have someone step in for you, but I'm ready to step in. You know, this comes first, we understand. You know, we thought about the commitment and the meaning behind it. I really believed in the cause. So with the support of Issa, I did it. With, of course, everyone being more mindful, taking care of my body at the same time.
Yes.
What a blessing that pregnancy continued on to become my son.
Right.
So it was still, you know, a wonderful experience. But so that was a very memorable event.
For you, Issa, what's the most memorable?
Number 1, it happened this year. Hosting for
Gordon
Chef Gordon Ramsay. Of course. Wow.
Yeah.
What an honor. what an honor
Yeah.
to have chatted with him, to have, really that moment. Thank you so much.
Sana you yelled at him too. Just kidding.
He's a sweetheart. He really is. The process was like 5 steps, and everyone had like this set of instruction until I finally met him face to face. He's like, "Hey, Issa, I just want good energy. Whatever they said in the script, just, make it your own." So we had fun. Everything I was briefed to do, we ended up not doing. Like, make sure you stay away from him, like, let him do the kitchen thing on his own. He's like, "Issa, come here. Issa, come here." I'm like, hindi ko mapapansinin si Gordon Ramsay pag kinatawag na ako.
Alam sa director
Diba?
at this point.
Exactly. So
Oo.
that was really like, wow. It's one of the highlights of my hosting resume. Now, here's another thing. Anthony Bourdain.
Okay, wow.
Also, which was the World Street Food Congress around 2016. Why is that memorable? Not just because of him as a personality. It was me having to continue that event despite stepping on a nail this big. Because it was a construction site. And we were just
Yeah,
it
it
was
went
a
through
street food, It went through my sandal into my foot. So, a nurse or some nearby hospital came, but I had to already get it going because it was already 8 o'clock. The program had to start. So it's not just the event. Of course, Anthony Bourdain as the special guest is also very, very special, but it's who I became.
That
It's
day.
really what makes or molds you. As a professional, I am committed to this. So that really seals my sense of commitment, which I will always impart to my hosts.
So guys, let's talk about hosting as a career. What advice would you give parents who have kids that want to explore hosting?
Vocabulary and language starts at home. I read about it. A person's inner voice is their mother's. The father is the playful freedom and testing of boundaries. But the safe space, the voice of a conscience, is from the mother. So if you want to develop your children's vocabulary for hosting, it really starts at home.
Okay, so my follow-up question is for Jackie and Anne. The kids who are watching, like the young people who want to pursue hosting as a career, or maybe a parent, what advice would you have for them?
My mom used to call me tungo.
Didn't like eye contact?
No, and then if my mom would ask me, ask the waiter for like spoon and fork, I'd rather eat with my hands than raise my hand. Yeah, and my daughter actually picked it up. So I tried to practice her. I keep on reminding her, now, you know what, I used to be you. I'm like, I'm you, but look at me now. And she's like, Mom, but how do you do it? So I had to give her tips. Just think of it as like conversing with your friend and answer in a way that would be comfortable for you. There's one thing that I've learned from Wanlit and Issa. It's really, what's your purpose?
Right.
If you're gonna do it, that's why I wasn't scared. It's not about me. It's all about serving your seed.
Shadow a host or some host that you admire. Attend their events, experience it so you can see how they move, how they work. The other is sign up for Wanlit workshop.
Thank you.
Sign up for Wanlit workshop. Yeah.
I mean, but it's true. But I really mean it. Like, sign up for Wanlit workshops. They're great.
And I think you could also start with voluntary work. Like if they have
Birthday
charities,
parties, yeah.
birthday parties of relatives, they can start with that so that they can practice.
I
If they're
encourage people to
comfortable.
practice even in their barangays, yung mga
That's a good tip.
basketball
That's a
court
good tip.
leagues, yung mga liga.
Or even in their like offices, or like,
Yes,
Or
office.
church.
as well, yeah.
As a lector. All those.
Father, ako na po magsa-sermon today. Ganon. I'm just kidding. Okay, to close the show, what's one golden rule about communication that you wish every mom had in her arsenal so that they can effectively talk to their kids?
I mean, for me, we're a team. So in my marriage, with my kids, we're a unit.
Your
We're a
household
team.
staff, right?
So if you lose, I lose. If you win, I win. I mean, there's no you win, I lose. And that goes also with communication itself, in terms of like with my kids, what I'm striving to be, because that's how my mom was with me, is to be open. I'm not here to tell them how to behave. I can guide them. That's what I'm there for as a mom. How I would say my success would be is if they come home running to me to tell me their problems. Or even to tell me about all about their achievements. That's when I
So
want.
really open communication is yours, and that's
safe
part of your
space.
teamwork. Yeah.
I think every mom wants that talaga. And my husband and I were saying, we're telling our kids na, you know what, guys, if we ask you a question, we already know the answer. We're just giving you an opportunity to tell it to us. That was the standard that me and my husband has put to our children at home. Because if you don't give that opportunity, then there won't be any opportunity. It's our job as parents to really give them every opportunity to communicate, no judgment.
Honestly, that really is the bottom line. Communication is what it is. It has to be said. Because I'm gonna borrow something. I saw it on Instagram by Tori Ileto at NY Therapist. If you don't communicate it, it's open to interpretation. And more often than not, interpretation is wrong. People assume, alam niya na dapat yan. How are you sure? So don't assume, because again, communication, language, vocabulary, trust, safety, all this starts at home. And guess what, parents? If you don't know how to do or have that difficult conversation, what kind of adults will your children become? They clam up, hindi rin marunong.
Yeah.
So start it with your children. That's the whole point. To communicate, say it.
And then leave comments for us.
Diba? Yeah, say it. Let us know. O, diba?
Okay, so guys, I hope you enjoyed our talkativeness. Really, ladies, thank you so much. I never realized, like I said earlier, that there's so much connection between hosting and parenting. Who would have thought, right? And I think the biggest takeaway today is really don't leave things unsaid ever. But there are things also you should not say.
That's true.
Of course.
That's very, very true.
Yes. That's true. That's true.
Okay, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Couch Talk with our beautiful hosts, Jackie Go and Gauthier, and of course, the mother hen, Issa Litton. Once again, this is Marga Tupaz, Editor-in-Chief of Modern Parenting. For more videos like this, please subscribe to the Modern Parenting YouTube channel. Bye, guys!